The new Sakurai Direct is finally here. We're gonna find out who that fighter is, and long have I waited. Block content. What's happening, my blocked buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. And yes, I woke up with the same news that you guys have. This is really happening right now. Sakurai has revealed there is a new Nintendo Direct coming specifically centered for Super Smash Bros. And this is really interesting for a lot of different reasons, right? Because Nintendo Versus actually tweets out that this is going to be revealing the final character of the first Fighter's Pass, and maybe even more beyond that. And we have a lot to talk about today because there are so many hints that Sakurai drops in this. There are so many little things that we can glean from this, or it all means nothing. But I just wanted to talk about everything that we could find, and of course make all the memes that you want about Sakurai and doing that 3P sign. Really don't know what it means, but we're gonna find out. And I've been answering many of you guys' questions about Smash Brothers and new fighters in our show Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making videos on YouTube? Whatever you can think of, please send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions live on the show in our next Question Blocked episode. And of course, here's this brand new awesome giveaway. You can win one of these Super Mario surprise capsules from Tomy. Any Mario character or Yoshi or an item could be inside, so I leave them closed. You can find out what's inside when you win. I'm giving away 4 of these, so remember to like this video, subscribe to Blocked Content right now, and comment down below to enter for this giveaway. Alright guys, let's get into the main topic of today, and it is the big one, right? Nintendo Versus tweets out, "Join Super #Smash Bros. Ultimate Director Masahiro Sakurai on 1/16, so the 16th of January at 6 a.m. PT for a roughly 35-minute video live stream featuring an in-depth look at an upcoming DLC fighter, which he will unveil in the video." Okay, so a lot of things already from this announcement. First off, the January 16th date lines up with a leak that we've talked about before, and it actually lines up with something that someone has predicted for a very long time, this person with inside Nintendo information. We're also going to be talking about that because that, of course, is the thing that we can now uncover. We can really ground this new info to kind of see where does it all line up. Can we kind of predict who this character is from this post, from basically the date already? Well, that's interesting. I'm going to be diving into all of that. But first off, 35-minute video live stream, right? So this is the idea where it was with Terry. That was a very long direct, right? It was like 45 minutes, and we knew absolutely nothing going in other than he's going to talk about Terry, and then he ended up talking about, you know, support characters, the history of the character, like music tracks, like separate stuff, which was totally insane. And a 35-minute video direct, it feels like a long time to talk about a single character, and I think Mr. Sakurai presents question mark, and question mark. That is the interesting part here. I mean, there's a very good reason that there's not one question mark, and also there is a very good question where Sakurai does this 3 sign, right? What does it mean? Does it have any, resemblance of a meaning? Is that from the video that they already shot? Is he doing that as a promotional thing? Is he doing it to throw us off? Like to give us this idea, is this a Wario sign? Is this like a Wonderful 101 sign? Is this the sign that, of course, Crash Bandicoot does with the trilogy was announced? This is really insane, and of course, our minds are going crazy at the moment trying to figure out what that sign means. To me, personally, if I look at this, I would say this is a very clear hint that we might be getting 3 different reveals. They might not be 3 characters. They might be 3 reveals. They might be 3 pieces of information. One, of course, is an upcoming DLC fighter, because they outright state that in the post. They're like, a roughly 35-minute video live stream featuring an in-depth look at an upcoming DLC fighter, which he will unveil in the video. So not only do I think that we get a lot of gameplay footage, I think the Direct, the Sakurai Presents Direct, will possibly open up with a CG trailer of that fighter, right? I think that we will actually be getting the big announcement that normally, this is the first time that we've ever done something like this, where it's a Nintendo Direct specifically centered around revealing a character. I mean, that's never happened like this before, and that's super interesting to me. So the idea here is that there are 3 question marks, and I think we might not be getting one character. We might even find out who the next fighter is, and we might even see that fighter. And also, Beyond that, the third question mark, I think that we're going to find out at least what the next Fighter's Pass is about. So how many characters are in that, what's the theme of the pass, maybe a little bit more information about that. Maybe we'll even see shadow figures or something like empty slots. I definitely think that these 3 question marks have some sort of meaning. If they don't, it'll be the biggest Sakurai troll ever, because everyone's, talking about what could this end up meaning. Kingdom Hearts 3, people have said a lot about that. Of course, there's been a lot of talk about, Arl Naja from Puyo Puyo series to come into Smash Brothers, and that somehow weirdly lines up with the timing of this. And of course, also that company and the developer actually retweeting this Sakurai post. But also it's happened like Hideki Kojima also pretty much retweeted this, and it's been really crazy to see all these industry developers, these insiders, retweet this specific one. Of course they may be excited, they might not even know what's coming up, but it could also be a huge hint towards what we could be expecting, because if multiple people are doing it, and we have these 3 question marks, it doesn't mean, people are just doing it to show support for Sakurai. This could actually be people that are involved on the inside that are actually excited to share this with their audience, right? So to talk a little bit about that January 16th date, that to me is interesting. First off, there's a little bit of a crossover with Dante here, which is fun. DMC5 Info actually tweeted this out a very long time ago, saying, "A little something extra is coming to the Switch port of Devil May Cry 3. Key dates for more information on this are January 16th, 30, February 13th. So already, this is interesting, right? The 16th is of course the date that we now know that Nintendo Direct is on, that we're going to be talking about a new upcoming fighter. So with everything to talk about DMC, even at the February 2020 date where actually the Fighter's Pass ends, and that all lines up weirdly with Devil May Cry, right, for the Switch. This is super interesting because they actually outright state January 16, and now we know a Smash thing is coming. So maybe in the Switch port of Devil May Cry 3, there is some sort of crossover, or you can get like Nintendo items or costumes or something like that. And they will actually reveal that in the Direct too, where they will reveal Dante as well. So it'll be like a weird fun crossover thing, right? So keep your eyes peeled on that. I would say I'm really curious to see if they have any crossover between Devil May Cry and between Nintendo and between Super Smash Brothers, because that could very much realistically happen. And like I alluded to before, this date has actually been called by someone on the inside, someone that people describe having a lot of information. So GameRed actually says, rumor, Nintendo Direct January 2020 date leaked. And this was actually posted on the 4th of January in 2020. So yeah, pretty recent, but still calling something, right? And they say, over the past few months, Nintendo has hosted a number of online presentations that have focused on topics ranging from indie titles to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC characters and beyond. That said, a full-blown Nintendo Direct has not occurred since September 2019, leaving many fans curious about what the legendary developer has planned for his new year. Fortunately, if a new rumor is to be believed, these fans do not have to wait much longer before this matter is addressed by 2020's first Nintendo Direct. Specifically, this new rumor states that the date of the next Direct is January 16, 2020. This information comes from Twitter user Mugyus, and while rumors originating from a single anonymous source should certainly be approached with a great deal of skepticism, there are reasons to be believed this one may prove accurate. Indeed, Egg Mugyus has a track record that points to a connection between them and Nintendo, and this history does lend some credence to the assertions about the date of the first 2020 Direct. As examples, the Twitter user posted an extensive list of what could be shown during the February 13, 2019 Nintendo Direct prior to its occurrence, even leaking the reveal of the remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and they also hinted at the February 27, 2019 Pokemon Direct, a week before it was announced. Even still, fans should not consider the date that Mugyus has stated for the first 2020 Nintendo Direct as definitive, and there's not even been official confirmation that the developer is planning to host such a presentation this month. However, with that January 16 date less than 2 weeks away, players will see Mugyus' claims verified or refuted in very short order. And of course, this user just essentially tweets out, very simply, Direct on the 16th. Since the Direct took place in 2011, these online presentations have become truly exciting events for all things Nintendo, and even one does not occur, this rumor indicates, one is certainly to be on the horizon. Well, I think that that is absolutely the fact here, and with this person actually calling this, I've looked through all the information. There's really no Smash like information that Mug really calls here, so that to me is very interesting. It's just the date. And furthermore, it's all this Nintendo stuff like the previous Pokemon games, Sword and Shield, and leaking all these different Pokemon way ahead of release. So definitely an insider with information, and just the fact that this person called the 16th to me is interesting, and then has all this Pokemon information. Could there be some sort of crossover here? Well, I feel like the way that Sakurai made this post, and also the idea that all these third parties are basically, retweeting this message, this has to be a third-party character, and it makes sense for the Fighter's Pass, so that's what I personally am very excited about. I think that there's a huge chance that we might be getting Arl. There's also a big chance that we're getting Dante. I didn't think that it was at all possible before because of Bayonetta, because, the pass already has very similar characters to Dante, but it might happen, guys. It might actually be on its way. So I'm really curious if you guys have any thoughts on this whole Sakurai presentation. Of course, we will be live streaming the whole thing and talking about everything and doing it together with all of you. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, that comment could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, who do you think Sakurai will reveal? And as for a previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from user Mr. Jekko, saying, well, Ruben Langdon, Dante's voice actor, is already in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's reprising his role as Ken Masters. Dude, Nero's voice actor, Johnny Young Bosch, is also in Ultimate as the voice of Zero. We can go a bit further, as David Vincent was already in Smash Bros. Distribution as M. Robin, so male Robin, before reprising his role as Richter. Same with Xander Mobus going from just the announcer to reprising his role as Joker. As for Dante himself, we still have no idea what the producer for the DMC3 Switch special mentioned January 16, January 30, and February 13 or 6th. So that to me is a really interesting one. I wanted to circle this out because, yeah, you totally called it here. I mean, all those voice actors coming together that, voiced these characters originally and are now also already in Smash. That is, of course, a very interesting fact to Nintendo to kind of say, oh yeah, we can make this work. And also the calling of the January 16th date, that all lines up perfectly with what's happening here. So yes, there is a lot of information about Dante, and of course a previous video, the one that we put up yesterday, talked about the voice actor kind of slipping up and saying, well, Dante is of course in both Marvel vs. Capcom and Smash, and that totally broke the internet, and I was super happy to be reporting that news to you guys. But yeah, everything is kind of flipping on its head, everything is going insane, so I'm really curious what will end up happening in the Direct. Yes, we will live stream it, so don't worry, all the information will come to you guys. So thanks so much for sending in your comments. These are always so much fun to read through, and of course, a huge shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and the super chats during our live streams. You make blocked content possible. So if you want to have yourself created as a little blocked content character, or join me for a Skype chat, or even have your own ideas become videos, well, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent, because there's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and they're waiting just for you. Remember, if you aren't yet a member of the Blocked Content family, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya!